ordering some great items, and we're gonna do that for you all night tonight, including my next item. This one I think is really, it is practical, right? And you wouldn't necessarily go, oh, that's a great gift. But when you really think about it, it makes it a very smart gift to give somebody. And it's the gift of getting light where you need it, even in difficult places, without having to rely on solar. Because if you need light under a tree, then solar's not gonna work for you, but these will. And what's also cool about these, they can synchronize up with each other. And I think that's brilliant. And yet you're not spending a fortune installing them and making this big advanced lighting system around your house. It's $33 and it's a set of 2. And I don't know how we did this, but we kept that 6 flex pay from this weekend and the free shipping. That it was supposed to be totally $5, we know that, but somehow it slipped through. You can get these home for $5.50 and you have a half a year to pay them off with any major credit card. Justin, welcome back.
Thank you. We're straight flexing out here.
I'm telling you, gosh, and we have 4 colors available, right? So we start up, we've got the black.
5.
Oh, 5, sorry. We have the black, the brown, the gray, and the taupe.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And white.
And white.
There we go.
And the white, yes. And the brown and the black do look very similar, but I'll show you in a second how they actually kind of, one's a little bit greener. But the idea of being able to finally have accent lighting, it's really lighting made easy. You can cut the cable, you can cut the wires, now you can finally do it with your lighting. You can put it anywhere you want. There's virtually no place you can't put Mr. Beams, indoors, outdoors. The best part about these is, yes, they are super bright, and they are from Mr. Beams. They are the #1 when it comes to motion security lighting, but these communicate with each other. So wireless communication, wireless installation. So when one of these turns on, the other one will turn on. So if you're picking up multiple, you can have up to 50 of these talking to each other at the same time. So think about it. You pull up to the driveway, it lights up the driveway. Before you even step foot out of the car, every other light around your house is gonna be lit up. My girlfriend gets excited every single time at night when we get a package because the light turns on and she knows that another one of her presents just came so she can wrap it up. The easiest way to make your home safer than really the perimeter of your home is lighting. It's a huge deterrent. So whenever somebody comes within 30 feet of any of your Mr. Beams, they're gonna light up and shine, so it's a visual alert for them and it's a visual alert for you.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
And you don't have to spend a fortune doing it. I mean, other people get these big systems and they have all this wiring stuff and it costs a fortune. This is so easy. And I love the syncing. I think that's super neat because when one goes off, you can create the whole environment to light up, which trust me, if anybody's there to do something bad, they're gonna go to the next house that doesn't have that. You know what I mean?
No, totally. They want to find the the darkest home. I mean, that's the reality. And even if your home may look dark, they step over on your property, every light's gonna turn on. Now we have a lot of spotlights, not all of them communicate. So I'm gonna show you really quickly. I know we're gonna wait till we get a nice wide shot because I have 2, 4, 6, 8 lights communicating right now simultaneously. It's about having a network. They're called NetBright for a reason. So I'm gonna turn one of them on. When we get a good shot, I wanna show you all of these lights communicating. Already? I'm gonna do it in 3, 2, and 1. Boom. That's you coming home. That's somebody in the middle of the night stepping foot on your property, and all of a sudden, all of that light is now gonna shine on them.
That's crazy, right? And did you notice too, we had 2 over the door. There's one way, do you see it, guys? It's way up here in the back, really high. That one went off at the same time. And then we have another one way over there that went off at the same time. And those have gotta be probably 20 feet high, I'd say, right? I mean, that's really way up there.
So really, one of the coolest parts too is how far the light will actually project off of these spotlights. So if you have them high up like we do, look at how much surface area it's still lighting up. You can light up 675 square feet, and it's gonna be able to beam 120 feet away from the light. So we think about why would you get wiring? Well, maybe, you know, we think brighter. You're getting 450 lumens. You can see how much light you're getting. You're really not giving up the amount of light that you want just because these are battery operated. And I do have to mention, these are 4D batteries. They're gonna last you at an average of a year before you're ever gonna have to think about changing them.
See, a lot of people hesitate because you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta be up there every 3 weeks changing those dumb batteries out. Up to almost a year. Now, there's another really cool feature. I asked you this last time we did this too. A lot of people say, well, my gosh, it's a sensor. So during the day, what if I come up to it and it's gonna go on and off all day long, which would then eat the batteries? Explain how they've gotten around that.
Yeah, so if you've ever had a motion security light, maybe it is wired. I have one at home. It always goes off during the day. It drives me crazy. These have a light sensor. They won't have any false activations during the day to preserve the battery life. So it has to be dark out before it'll ever activate the motion security. So once it's nighttime, and speaking of nighttime, it's dark way earlier than it ever has been during the year, of course, because of daylight savings time. But the idea we're putting it on the shed. How many times you want to just walk out to the backyard, walk to the shed, grab all of your winter tools to be able to shovel everything. We're shoveling earlier in the morning now too. This is just the idea of putting it anywhere. It's 150 feet of wiring that you didn't have to put under the ground.
Right.
For either
now,
of
what
these
if I
lights.
don't want them to all go off at the same time?
Yeah, you can do that too. So there's 4 different zones that you can have. So you think about it, there's 4 different sides of your house. You have your front, your sides, your back. So if you don't want them all communicating or you're picking up multiple, they don't have to. So if I just want to have 2 of these communicating simultaneously, I can. If I don't want these talking to each other, I can shut that off as well. You have complete control and customization of what angle you want them to be at. You can easily bend these and angle them however you want them and put them anywhere you want as well.
Now also, how many can I put in the system?
Yeah, so that's it. That's the thing too. It is a system.
What if I want like my whole darn backyard to just go off?
50.
Can you
50
really?
Mr. Beams talking to each other.
What's the distance between each they have to be?
150 feet.
So let's say let's say you've got a really big property and you want them all to go off all the way around the whole property. You could actually do that.
Yeah.
And never have to lay one single wire down. That really is kind of mind blowing when you think about it. So you could have 50 around your home.
Yeah.
That is a lot of light.
That's a lot of light. You put this on your fence, put it on a tree, put it anywhere you want. The idea of Mr. Beams is being able to, and I keep saying this, really, there's virtually no place you can't put these. We're showing you put them in a tree. That's the first thing that I did when I got my Mr. Beams. I thought there was a dog that was outside my house when I was up north. It wasn't a dog, it was a fox. It's a good thing that there was a light out there to tell me that, but this is the idea of there's no more surprises anymore. The dog runs out in the backyard, and how many of you are getting packages delivered way later, right? It's nighttime, and then you have the uninvited guests. So put this at your front door, back door, side door, wherever you want to be able to see light and have light show you the way, it's Mr. Beams.
I also think too, Justin, it gives you a real sense of peace of mind, because let's say you have a property like you do that you're not there all the time. It would be great to know that if someone does pull up, all those lights are gonna come on. It looks like you're at home. Obviously, someone who's gonna do no good is probably gonna go away, you know, because that's just not a place they wanna be. There's plenty of darker homes they can rip something off or break into.
Yeah.
And I also like too, do you have that little weird dark alley? You know, do you have that space in the back of your property? Is it the side of your house? It's the side of my house that's really dark and creepy. You know, and that's where you need that extra light, but we don't wanna have lights going on and off all day long. I love this, that it knows when it's dark, and then it goes on when it senses that motion. And how close does the motion have to be for it to go off?
Yeah, this is great. It's 30 feet. I have one, and I'm a renter, and speaking of renters, we'll talk about that in a second, but 30 feet. So you don't have to feel like you're already inside your house by the time the light comes on. The key's in the door before it turns on.
Right, because if I'm coming home late at night, I want it to, so I can see where I'm going.
Exactly, you want to light up the way.
Right.
This is gonna be the way. And speaking of renters, how many of you maybe have existing lighting, but it's just not in the place that you want it?
Right.
And you still want to be able to take the light with you. You can do that.
Yeah. Right.
I was talking to one of my friends who lives up north. He's a camper. He's always going camping. He takes these camping with him and puts them up in the tree.
That's a great idea.
Isn't that cool?
Actually, it's brilliant.
I know.
Yeah. Even if you're gonna go out, let's say you're at a campground, so you gotta go, like you're tenting and you gotta go to the bathroom and it's kind of far away. At least you can light up outside of your tent and see where you're going, so you don't go into Mr. Bear.
Hey, Bear.
Hi. And I will tell you, the light is not only wide, but it is really bright. It's surprising how bright this light is for a unit that's really not that big.
Yeah, I think when you're thinking, what am I giving up between wired and battery operated lighting, you think, well, that's gotta be, of course, how bright it is. These are 450 lumens. If you read any of the reviews, they will tell you that they are surprised at how bright these are. They're surprised at how easy they are. You can see from up to 120 feet away, you're gonna be able to light this up in 675 square feet of area. Angle it any which way you want it, customize it, put this inside and outside. These are weatherproof, by the way. A lot of you are getting pounded with snow. We just had those ice cleats on. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to actually see outside, see the ice, see the snow? How many of you are shoveling right now in the morning and at nighttime? This is gonna be able to withstand rain, sleet, snow, it doesn't matter.
Okay, just gotta show you. Has this been a popular item? Well, look at the bottom, look at under my hand. Over 31,000 sets, so that's 60-some thousand lights have been sold in just a couple of weeks. I mean, it's a great gift idea. It's a thoughtful gift, actually. Maybe you know somebody who's always kind of complaining about a dark space. Maybe it's your husband who's got that shed out back and you know he's like, oh, we're gonna run some light out there. Oh, I'm gonna hire somebody and you're gonna spend a fortune. Try these first. You have until the end of January to return them, and I think it really is a great gift idea. Now, the most limited is gonna be your gray and your taupe. The most popular is gonna be your black and your white. Of course, that makes sense. If you get it to match the house or be a contrast, they blend in beautifully. I love that you can put them under a tree, because there's a lot of places where you go, well, I'll just put solar light out there. Well, if it's under a tree, it's shaded, so obviously it's not gonna work. So you're right, Justin, you're thinking wherever you need light, you basically can now have it. For me, think about the basement, stairs. You're always fumbling trying to grab a pool,
right,
or you're trying to find the light switch on the wall and then you tumble down the steps. Wouldn't it be great if you just opened your basement door, it sensed that motion and it came on? Think about how smart that would be, or an attic is the same issue.
Yeah, attic, basement. I had one, I had a detached garage.
Yeah.
That every single time I pulled in, there was this just ancient pull cord that was, I'm not the tallest person in the world. I struggled to reach anyways, and it was, of course, above my car. I just literally put Mr. Eames, I didn't screw it in anywhere. I literally just sat it just like we have on the table, right on a shelf. Every single time I pulled it in the garage, it lit up. I could actually see where I was going. If you ever needed to pick this up and use it as a flashlight, you can do that as well. And before
it's a heck of a flashlight, I'll tell you that.
Before you take the stumble down the stairs or take the stumble outside, just light up the area before you do that.
Yeah, it's so smart. All right, so remember, we have all the colors now. Of course, with almost 32,000 sold, that's not gonna be the story later on in the next couple of days. We'll start to run out some of the options. But stay right there, stay in the line for it. There you're looking at the taupe. That's the gray. I do want you to do the comparison between the black and the, what are we calling it? Brown, right?